a cookie tax.
So that's good.
Great news.
Thank you
for all
that.
those cookie lovers out there. You won't be taxed if you go to Finland. So away in this under-20 men's 3,000 metre steeplechase. Quickly run through your lineup. Will Atkinson from New South Wales. Kirk Shanahan from Victoria. Luke Graves from Western Australia. Jesse Dunsmore from Victoria. Dylan Holland from New South Wales. MJ Hansen van Rensburg from Western Australia, Harvey Chilcott from Tasmania, Marcus Evans from Victoria, Bailey Sharp, Victoria, Nicholas Blum from South Australia, Matthew Campin from New South Wales, Joshua Phillips from New South Wales, and rounding out this field of 13 is Harrison Biggs.
That looks like Luke Graves out in front at the moment. So he's the fastest in the field with a 9.04. The next fastest would be the 9.21, Jesse Dunsmore. So he's a long way further in front. And I know the tactic in the water jump is to not get wet. So you might see Luke Graves. He will get very close to the edge of that pit. But it doesn't look like it's lightning fast, this race at the moment.
No, it doesn't, which is a little surprising of it.
But while this race is going, we do have Tamsin with the Athletics Australia CEO, Darren Gosha.
I'm down here with the CEO of Athletics Australia. He's a busy man, but he's donated some of his time to the live stream for us so that we can put a face to a name. Now, Darren, for the people on the live stream who love our sport, our great sport of track and field, what is your background that led you to getting to track and field?
So, I mean, I've had a bit of a mixed background. I actually did nitro athletics. So I ran nitro athletics before that, and that was sort of my entree into athletics. It went pretty well, and that sort of got me into that. Prior to nitro, I worked in media predominantly, and digital media. So I worked with News Corp, Yahoo before that, and I actually started off as an accountant, funny enough. So there you go.
Okay, so Nitro, everyone was watching Nitro. They loved it. It was a fun, action-packed concept. What was your role within Nitro?
So I was the CEO of Nitro. So I ran and oversaw the entire event from, the broadcast, the commercial to the athletes. Obviously had a really good team that helped drive it, but I ran Nitro.
And it'd be remiss of me to not to ask, will we see Nitro again? Because it was such a popular event and so many people ask when it's coming back. Can you give us a...
Yeah, look, I really hope so. Watch this space. So we're working through it at the moment. There's obviously challenges with a concept like that, but we're really positive about the concept. We really want to make sure that we continue to drive it. It's important for our sport to have entertainment products like Nitro. So, yeah, watch this space.
Well, that is exciting because it was a popular event. Now, I've also heard part of your background. You've been involved in other sports. You were a rugby referee?
Rugby league referee, yes. I was a rugby league referee for a few years back in the late 90s, early 2000s. So I had a bit of a background in that, and that was good. I mean, giving me an understanding of sport and discipline and high performance and what goes on in that field has been helpful for me in this role. So yeah.
And we're here at the juniors. There's some great juniors. Now, what a lot of people don't probably know is that you've spent a lot of your weekends at track and field meets, so it's not new to you to be at the track. You have kids who participate in the sport?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got 4 children, but they all participate in athletics. They love it. They've been doing it for a while. So, as a parent, I've been involved with athletics for a long time. For volunteering, spent a lot of time out at the track, watching the kids over the years. And I'm passionate about athletics. I've been passionate since I was a kid myself, competing, and obviously encourage the kids to get into it. There's so many benefits from a sport like this, and being outside and being active and healthy, and it's the social element of athletics and everything. So it's a sport that I've been involved in a while and been really passionate about. So.
Okay, you touched on that you did it. I need to know, what event was your forte?
I was never very good at many events. I was more of a long distance cross country runner. So
nice. The long distance fraternity will be really happy. Now, you've been in the role of CEO. You took over from Phil Jones for about 6 months now. What are the challenges of the position that you've seen so far?
So, look, there's a lot to do in athletics. I think as a sport, we've got some really great foundations. as we sort of touched on, we've got a great bunch of juniors coming through. We have a world-class para program, which is fantastic. Our participation numbers are improving, but we've got a lot of work to do. We really have a lot of work to do. So engaging with the athletics community is going to be a key focus going forward, and engaging with athletes and coaches and ensuring that we have that connection with the community is really, really important for me. Continuing to grow those participation numbers again, is really important. We have to put the athletes first in a lot of the things that we do, and athletes and coaches and officials and the people involved in the sport. But really, I want to make sure that the sport's athlete-centric in a lot of the things that we do, and we've got to create the best environment for athletes. We've got to make sure that we've got, even though, as I said, we've got a great bunch of juniors coming through, the junior pathways and the way that they can progress through the system makes a lot of sense and is logical. Athlete welfare is another big thing that we want to make sure that we're doing a lot of work on over the next little bit. We've had a few instances over the last few months as I've been in the role that we really want to make sure that athlete welfare is high on the agenda.
Okay, and final question. Over the next 12 months leading in towards Tokyo, where do you see the sport realistically being? I know you've just touched on the things that you hope to have happen and to change, but where do you realistically see the sport being in, say, 2020?
I think we can be in a really good shape. As I said before, I touched on the fact that we've got a really good para program, an outstanding world-class para program. I see us really accelerating that program and having that as, a real key element for what we're trying to do. With the juniors coming through, as I said, the emerging athletes coming through really excite me at the moment. I think we've got some great athletes at that age that by 2020 they're really going to be ready to step up. So I'm really excited about that. And as I said, if we can do a really good job of progressing the juniors, looking after them and creating the best environment for athletes through, right throughout that journey, I think we can be in a really good spot when it comes to 2020. So I'm really looking forward. It really excites me. The potential and the upside in the sport is massive. As I said, I think we've got a really good foundation. We've got a lot of work to do, but the potential is amazing. So I think there's I'm excited by what's ahead and what's 2020 going to look like. So.
Well, thank you, Darren. Thank you for giving us your time, coming onto the live stream. We know you're busy, but it's really nice to put a face to the name and to also hear the passion that you have for our great sport of track and field. So thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thanks, Tamsin. Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much to Tamsin and Darren Gosha. As we get back to our steeplechase with only a few more to clear, it is Luke Graves out in front at the moment. Dale Carroll and MJ Jensen van Rensburg. That's your 1, 2, 3 at the moment. Josh Phillips currently in 4th place. As they roll around with the water jump to clear, they will have only 5, 6 more steeples. The time to beat 8:59.40. That is the challenge here for these athletes. There is a chance for him to get this. He will cross the line. It is not a full 400, it is further. But he will have about 68 seconds, which could be tricky. Oh, it's going to be tough.
He's going to really need to motor.
He's going to have to work out Dale Carroll holding down 2nd place with MJ Jensen van Rensburg.
I'm pretty sure it's like an extra 23 point something metres or something around that mark. So to try and get those extra metres in those few seconds, it's going to be really tough here. He's going to have to get going here, the West Australian. If he hunting it down, I'm sure he knows exactly what time he's after. Just over 200 to go now.
He'll be able to see the clock now as he runs around underneath the scoreboard. He might actually pick up a couple of the other athletes. This is the first of 2 timed finals, so there will be another steeplechase. He's got around 150 metres to go. It'll be very hard. He is working super hard here as Biggs just moves wide to give Graves some clear running. Fast off the hurdle. He's working hard. He's not wasting any distance. He's just going to miss it. 9 flat, 9.5. It's just over a second as MJ Jensen van Rensburg. He'll cross the line in 2nd place with another PB. It is hard work. This is tough work. It is 2:36 and it's probably 2:36 degrees. I'll get rid of the 2. It's 36 degrees, I
I was
reckon.
going to say, I don't know what you're going on there.
Fahrenheit, you know, the conversions.
Yeah. No, we'd be burning up here, even if it was Fahrenheit. But, yeah, it is warm out there. It really is warm. It's starting to heat up, and I'm sure these steeplechase athletes are having a tough time of it here. But how agonisingly close was that for Luke Graves? 9 flat 93 is the official time. So he needed the 8:59.4. So 1.53 seconds off the time. That's it. That's all it was. Makes it super, super tough. And unfortunately, there isn't a 3,000 steeple tonight at the Grand Prix, because otherwise, hey, you never know. He could have backed up, but he'll have to live with that one. But he's going to go home with a gold medal, so he can't be disappointed with that. MJ Hansen van Rensburg, also a West Aussie athlete. He'll take home the silver in 9:13.98, and Dale Carroll from Victoria, he'll round out that podium in 9:26.60. So they're your top 3 athletes.